This week in Destiny, June 20th, 2024. This week in Destiny, we're continuing to unravel the mysteries of Nessus with our new best pal, Failsafe. New old best pal, Failsafe. Honestly, Failsafe's always been my best pal. I don't know what they're talking about. With so much going on the past few weeks, we're taking a bit of a breather this week, but we have some amazing art to share and an update from our raid and dungeon and systems design team. List of topics this week are going to be Art Station, the Final Shape Art Blast, raid and dungeon updates, Grandmaster Nightfall's return next week, player support report, and movie and art of the week. All right, so we got some art from the Final Shape. We've been seeing a lot of these show up on Twitter and stuff like that. I've even snagged a few of them for a thumbnail. These are really good art pieces that they've been doing. If you want to see more, go over here and click the link if you want some nice wallpapers. Some good thumbnails and stuff. Dungeon and raid and dungeon update. We have a few raid and dungeon details to share, including some upcoming dates and details on a change we're planning in the near term. Let's jump in. The Final Shape brought a few changes to the raid and dungeon experience. First, the difficulty tiers, power level caps were reworked, altering the difficulty for many power-enabled activities. At the same time, surges were added to raids, offering a damage boost for certain damage types on a weekly rotation. That's been a W. I've been enjoying doing that, especially being on all the raids and all the activities. It's been awesome. We've seen a lot of discussion in different numbers provided for how this impacts the raid and dungeon experience, so we wanted to give a quick clarification on the net change for incoming and outgoing damage in raids and dungeons in the Final Shape. So damage source, outgoing damage, -5 power cap, -33% in raids and +2% in dungeons. Outgoing plus surge, -5 power cap, -15% on raids and +28% in dungeons. Incoming damage, -5 power cap, +32% in raids and +17% in dungeons. Incoming damage, +5, +15 power cap, +3% in raids, and -8% in dungeons. Okay. These are numbers specifically for regular combatants, dregs, acolytes, etc. More difficult combatants may scale a bit differently. Raid and dungeons had different settings previously, however, being very similar to each other. They were changed to use the same settings in the Final Shape to be more consistent. While the outgoing damage is capped at -5 in the power-enabled match-made difficulties, standard and advanced, players will continue to increase defensive effectiveness beyond the target power. Display focuses on offensive output for UI reasons. This means that players will continue to reduce incoming damage up to +15 power cap in standard and +10 in advance. Okay. So the higher level you get, the higher power level you get, the more you're going to be able to reduce that incoming damage. Makes sense, obviously. Same as before. In our chart above, you can see that players only take slightly more damage in raids at a +15, while they take less damage in dungeons than before the Final Shape. Okay, so dungeons a little bit less threatening. With that context in mind, we have been listening to the feedback and how surges have been impacting player build choice, and we're going to make a change. Upcoming changes. We have decided to remove surges from raids and dungeons in next week's update, as well as adjust tuning so that you'll perform as if you had them across the board. This means the damage bonus will now be applied to all subclass damage types, including kinetic by default. This change will make outgoing damage in dungeons higher and reduce the difference in raids compared to before the Final Shape. It does so while removing barriers to build crafting. We'll continue to monitor feedback. Okay, I mean, dungeons and raids. They got rid of it in dungeons and raids. We're still going to have activities, and it says it'll still be applied for subclass damage types. So that'll help with, like, you know, supers and stuff like that and your abilities. But kind of takes it off the weapons. You hate surges? You don't like the surges? I've been having fun with it, honestly. I don't have an issue with the surges. I feel like they were a way to make us, you know, play a little bit differently. I don't know if I agree with taking them away. I feel like it's very early to already be taking them away, but they're listening to people. They're doing feedback. They're giving feedback. They're taking the feedback. You know what I'm saying? It's a back and forth. So I agree with what they're doing, you know, doing the back and forth. I don't know if they had enough analytic chance by just doing 2 weekly surges, because the thing is, if they want people to do more build crafting and move around, if you keep surges, you're going to force people to play with other builds and do a little bit more build crafting, and it'll still rotate to the surge that you want in another week. So you get both worlds if you just keep the surges in rotation. I don't know if I agree with taking away surges, but I do agree with them listening to the community and doing things based off what the community says, you know, to an extent. So we'll see how it plays out. Definitely not mad at it, but obviously W Bungie for listening to the community and doing things to test things out. We love that. Salvation's Edge Master Difficulty. Master Difficulty for Salvation's Edge will be available on June 25th. That's like in a few days. If you're looking for an additional challenge, grab your fire team, show what you're made of, Guardians. I'm scared. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of scared. Contest mode was very difficult, so this is gonna be definitely a good challenge. I'm excited, but also scared at the same time. Grandmaster Nightfall is coming next week as well. Nightfall is returning June 25th. The Glassway will be next week as the featured Nightfall. If you're looking for a Grandmaster challenge today, Grandmaster Excision is obviously already available, but for those waiting on the Glassway, Grandmaster Comeback will be there next week. The player support report, Kvastov issues. We're currently investigating issues around the acquisition of the Kvastov exotic rifle. Players should keep the following information in mind when working to acquire this weapon. I still have to get this thing. Modes of Light. Players should ensure they have collected and placed all versions of the Traveler. In addition to defeating the overthrow bosses in each area, we additionally recommend that players who only need to defeat the Taken Servitor boss in the Blooming attempt to kill it a couple of times, including returning to orbit between runs. We are aware of the issue with the triumphs that track which overthrow bosses have been killed not functioning correctly. Players should not be using those triumphs as a confirmation that they have successfully defeated all the overthrow bosses. Obviously, just keep doing it until you get it done. Encryption bits. Players should ensure they have collected all the region chests in the Pale Heart, in addition to searching all of the rubble piles in the Sys activities. We are aware of a separate issue where triumphs for opening the region chests and searching the rubble piles can be unintentionally completed before meeting the intended requirements. Players are advised to rerun all of the Sys activities and make sure every rubble pile has been searched. Once all of the intended chests and rubble piles have been interacted with, players should be rewarded the lost encryption code, regardless of how many bits have appeared in their inventory. Acquiring prismatic on alternate characters, prismatic destined heroes, lost in the light and found in the dark quests can only be completed once per account. Players who purchase the Vinyl Shape campaign skip boost and who are attempting to acquire prismatic on alternate characters will instead need to play these 6 adventures in the Lost City on the Pale Heart. So make sure that you're going to those orange flags, the orange swords in the Lost City, inside of the Pale Heart in the tower there. Make sure that you're going to those, and you have to play all of those to get all of your prismatic stuff. Some known issues that they are covering here. Mote light drop from Coptics taken by the witness may be flung from the boss on defeat, resulting in it not appearing directly where it fell. So go looking for it. Good luck. The Golden Tricorn perk is incorrectly tied to players' super damage instead of their grenade or melee. That's crazy. I didn't notice that. Winter's Guile doesn't auto-shatter enemies. Frozen with Penumbral Blast when using Prismatic subclass. Completing the Lightfall campaign on legendary difficulty does not award a choice of an exotic item. I haven't run into that issue yet, but that kind of sucks if that happens to somebody. Two-Tailed Fox does not benefit from elemental weapon surge armor mods. Noted. Players are unable to claim Trials of Osiris rank 10 reputation award, and then there's a full list of the emergent issues right here if you want to go check it. Artist of the week, man, look at Cade. Well done, artist. All right, cool. That does it for the Twid this week. A lot of juicy information, mainly about the weapon surges and taking them away, kind of fluctuating with that. Good that they're listening to the community, but we'll see how it plays out. But if you enjoyed the video or found it informative, make sure you like, comment, share it with a friend. Follow and subscribe depending on which platform you're on. We'll see you in the next one.